everyone. This is Zayami Eccles-Irwin from FilmFestivalCircuit.com and the Assistant Director of the Oregon Short Film Festival. We're gearing up for our summer 2023 session, which is going to screen on July 16th at the beautiful historic Clinton Street Theater in Portland, Oregon. And today I'm talking with one of our participating filmmakers. W. Webb is the director of The Mimic. Thank you so much for meeting with me today.
Thank you. It's a great honor to be here.
So The Mimic, it's interesting. It's not your typical nature doc. There's kind of an entrancing quality to it. It's poetic. What inspired you to make this film?
To tell you the truth, it's almost accidental footage in that I have the fascination of a 5-year-old, and if I see a critter or something that looks just intrinsically interesting to me, and if I've got a camera, I'm reaching for it, and I'm going to just record it and see what happens. So I've got I spent probably 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes following this guy around, guy, I don't know. And just, it was exploring every little twig that it could find. And then it got to a sort of an impasse, and then it surprised me with its behavior.
Yep.
I decided this year that I wanted to try and produce stuff and start to learn film editing and things like that. I've dabbled with it in the past, but this year I became more serious about it.
Okay.
So this footage was laying around, and I just started putting it together and thinking, okay, how do you construct some sort of something interesting out of it? I thought it might be a fun nature film for kids, and I captioned in all the text that you see on the screen, and I've been collaborating with a wonderful music composer named Joseph Caudle. I sent it off to him to score, and he sent it back, and I looked at it and looked at it and looked at it, and I said, "This is amazing. I think we should submit this to a film festival." And he was like, "Sure, why not?" And I've submitted to y'all in the past, and I submitted to y'all and a few other places, and I've picked up some odd rejections from nature-based film festivals, but
really?
Nature-based film festivals have loved it. It is footage that I do not grow bored of watching. It's just, if you've watched it, there's interesting things going on. To compare the speed of the katydid to the, you get to see a juvenile daddy longlegs come race into one segment of the film. You get a sense of, this guy is really slow,
Right.
The main character, but it's not your typical short or film or whatever in that, but it's easy to work with that kind of talent because you don't have to worry about legal agreements and releases and
That's right.
stuff like that. So that's where I, started from, and Joseph and I have collaborated on some other shorts, and I've got them on my YouTube channel, which is under WW Webb also.
Okay, cool.
But we were just initially, I was editing stuff and sticking it out on social media, and I just felt like this one is too special. It's too good.
Totally.
Just to throw out on social media. We need to get some exposure at film festivals and stuff. So that's basically what motivated me to put it together and send it out to y'all.
Okay, cool. I'm kind of curious how you came up with the idea of kind of narrating it, so to speak, with these adjectives, and also how you came up with those adjectives. It's not a normal approach, maybe you could picture some kind of a voiceover or something, but I really liked it. The flow of them coming in, the kind of words that they say, it gets you thinking in different ways. And I remember particularly when the word focused came up, and I don't know why, but that just hit something in me. I thought, you know what? Insects probably are extremely focused as instinct-based creatures. I mean, so there's something more profound going on than just, fun wordplay. But anyway, what was the inspiration for that kind of stuff?
So I, in the process of the edit, before I guess the way my process was is I looked at the footage and looked at the footage and looked at the footage and then started assembling an edit, a first cut that had what I thought were the highlights of this journey that this guy's on. And and then I had just a blank notebook and I just wrote out every adjective I thought might apply. And again, back to the idea of it being sort of a kid's educational thing, I thought it's a way to, maybe introduce words to an 8-year-old or somebody
Absolutely.
uh, that might be fun in a fun way. Um, I've had one of my family members say there was one word they didn't work wasn't they weren't sure that it matched what I was
Oh, really?
doing. And then I've had another lady that was like, I had to go, and she was a librarian. She is like, I had to go look this word up. I'd never encountered it before.
Yeah, I encountered a few that I didn't know, so I like
Right.
that.
So
Well, that's
that
cool, and I like the kind of the direct address at the end. I could picture it working for younger education as well, kind of involving them.
mhm.
I'm interested. So you said you've produced a few other shorts in the past. Were they also nature based?
So if uh, w- so what I was doing with this, I just was trying to do a social media campaign. I'm a big user on LinkedIn, a
Okay.
big member of that community. I've gotten off Twitter because of Musk, and I'm on Mastodon. So I was releasing social media to social media. I was releasing a series of what I called quitter quickies, and this was going to be just another quitter quickie until Joseph's music just transformed it.
Okay. Yeah.
And part of it, so we started with a squirrel, and then we had a caterpillar, and then I had just some other odds and ends of footage I'd shot. I had there's an art installation in Denver that are just words. So I tried to film that. It's a mural that's on the side of an
Okay.
RTD. It's on the side of a transit parking structure. So the words start out really small, like 6 inches big, and they're mixed in and stuff. And then there's some words that are like 6 feet high. And they're all positive words like inspire and dream and achieve. And so that's another one of the quickies that I worked with Joseph on. I think we released it in early May. And we were trying to release something every couple of weeks. I've come down on a trip and I'm shooting footage for more critter quickies, I guess you would call them. So our release schedule's gotten a little wacky from that because I'm in South Georgia, and the heat and the humidity and the heat index is enough to just wear you out.
Totally.
Just running around with a camera in the weeds for an hour. I came so close to filming an armadillo foraging
Oh, wow.
at the beginning of this month, and I was gonna just handhold the camera, and I got to it was raining, so I backed the vehicle up into where the armadillo was. He just sits there and looks at me like, "Huh, what are you?" And I'm rapidly putting lens on camera body and stuff so I can get some footage. And he's still sitting there, so I like, okay, I'm going to get the tripod out. So I got the tripod out, got the camera on it, and he starts to forage, and I'm like, this is great, this is great. And I turn on the camera, and it instantly dies.
Oh
No battery power.
no.
I had
Oh
it
no.
had drained out on me, and because I didn't recharge it from the previous shoot, so I was like, ah, it was just like it would have been really cool because
Yeah.
this guy, when he goes along through the weeds and stuff, the fringe of the forest, you can see the tops of the weeds and the
Oh,
briars and
cool.
stuff shake because he's just moving along. And to listen to him, my gosh, he sounds like a hog at the feed trough, just crunch, 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 and just smacking his lips and stuff.
Wow.
I mean, it would have been incredible footage, but it was like, just for a camera battery, I just missed out on something really fun.
Right. Dang. Well,
Um,
I'm kind of curious then. This is a very specific type of filmmaking. You can't plan these things out. I mean, you can always try to be as prepared as possible with these things. It's something that you have to capture on the fly. Did you learn
mhm.
anything from this most recent project, or just leading up with all these projects you've been doing? Any new insights in this specific style?
Uh, so I just over my shoulder, I just bought a Black Magic
Okay,
6K Pro. It's used. Got it at B&H. Found it at 3 in the morning. I'm like, this baby's mine.
nice.
And so I'm becoming really proficient at putting this thing together in a hurry.
Okay, cool.
Because I normally just have it stored away and stuff. I'd like to get a Pelican and sit it with a lens
Right,
ready to go, and probably upgrade with an external battery,
right.
given my fiasco. But I'm interested in other stuff beyond nature. I just life is intrinsically interesting to me. I've always it initially one of the thoughts I had is if I can film a bug or an insect or
Right,
a butterfly, then when I need to shoot a human,
right.
I should, or do an action shot. I should have a better idea of build my skill up on holding the camera and stuff.
Yeah,
But they you just it's just fun to watch some of this stuff. A butterfly. I've got a butterfly that looks like she's just dancing right there on some leaves and ground stuff, and I'm like, are you showing off? Are you looking for a mate? Are
right.
you about to lay some eggs? I don't know. So, I just like let the camera run until it gets bored of me and flies away. Um, I've got a few weeks ago, I'm down here. I came down for a niece's graduation, and then I was going to help my sister do some repairs on a rental property. And then one day I had this giant leaf-footed tree bug
Oh
crawling
yeah.
crawling all over my saw. So I just whipped out my iPhone and filmed him until I decided, there's only so many ways you can crawl around on a saw blade and the saw pad and stuff. And then I was trying to measure him, and he was about 2 inches long or an inch and a half long,
Wow.
really sizable guy. And it was like the third time I'd run across one of these examples or species on the property. So it was like, okay, third time's the charm. I got to film
Yeah.
you guys and see what you're doing. Long antenna, sort of like the katydid, sitting there, just sort of like moving.
Hmm.
It's almost like that's how they see, not with any
Right, right.
vision. So
Feeling the wind and getting
yeah.
information.
So
I'm curious. So, this most recent one, the Mimic, you felt like once the music got put onto it, it elevated it, took it to some the next level.
hmm
Did you have any instructions for your composer? Because the music was really fantastic and did punctuate it interestingly.
so I I didn't give him anything other. Well, we had this is probably our fourth one together,
Okay.
and I told him I'm going to put a long one together. We'd been doing like 1 minute critter quickies and stuff,
Okay.
and I said I'm going to give you a challenge. I'm going to give you a 3.5 3 minute 20-second whatever length, and I'll give you time to develop some stuff. And then he was like, well, what do you want to hear? And I'm like, I don't know anything about music. Um, you know, this, key off the insect or key off the words that you see. I told him, I said, I'd like to hear maybe sort of a change in tone when you see the words disguised,
Right.
and go from that. And, just those little, like one sentence or two sentences on sort of what I thought might work. He took that and ran with it. He's an exceptional talent, and we all he should be on this interview too. But he really brings it forward. It makes me see how Spielberg and Lucas really benefited from having a great composer like
Oh,
John Williams,
absolutely.
or what some Hans Zimmer brings to Dune or whatever. It's
Hmm.
like I look at footage and I'm like, okay, this is sort of fun. And then I hand it off, and it comes back with, sends back a complete music composition. And I'm like, holy moly.
Right.
If you look at the Caterpillar one, he will make that caterpillar seem heroic. It's only like a minute and 6 seconds or something of footage that I put together, and um, I'm doing some technical tricks behind the scenes on things. I thought people might be freaked out if a caterpillar seemed to be crawling down the screen toward them, so I flipped the video
Oh,
so it's
okay.
away.
Crawling up away. Yeah.
I've done some other. I mean, I'm doing. It's a learning lab for me,
Totally.
so I'm doing things to, um, learn the editor better.
Right.
Um, L cuts and layering audio in on one video, stacking it up to sort of make it seem more rich of a soundtrack and things. So, um, you know, I just it's been fun to do these, and I've learned a lot, and I want to keep doing them. But I'm at the same time, I've got an animated project I've been working on for like
Oh,
4
really?
years. Animated short. I've got since I've been working down here, I was looking around how overgrown everything is. South
Mm,
Georgia's, subtropical or whatever.
right.
It and with you look around and everything is just a jungle. If you look into a forest, there's vines and trees are just covered
Wow.
with vines that are like tremendously thick. Um, so I've been inspired to write some sort of horror film based
Yeah.
on the Georgia jungles down here that we have on our family property. And then um, there's interesting people here, and
Mm,
I'm hoping to do some interviews when we get sort of past a hump in these repairs that I've been doing on this rental property. Um, I've got a good buddy that is a retired history professor. He knows gobs of stuff about everything, and
wow.
he's a great storyteller. And just to hear him talk about his family, he had so many uncles and had like 19 first cousins.
Wow.
His mother was in her 40s. His dad was in his 60s. He was like uh, a late blessing to come in their lives. So he was the youngest of the cousins, and at one point he knew all of them. So he was the youngest one at the knees of all these elders,
Okay.
and
Getting all the stories.
and the stories he tells are just hilariously funny sometimes. His all of these. I think all of the uncles on the mother's side were going to beat up his dad one time because,
Mm,
think he was good enough for their sister. And so they all sort of like enticed him to a barn. And before they could stop beating him, one of the brothers whipped out his gun on the whole bunch and said, "Y'all aren't going to beat up on this man. Y'all are going to take him on one." And so they all lined up, and he took a few lumps, but he held his own, and they approved him to marry their
wow.
sister. But it was sort of funny that there was one brother with some sort of feeling of honor or whatever, and he's like, "Y'all aren't gonna just mob this guy. Y'all are
Right.
gonna have to do it one on one." And 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 they were like, "Well, what about you?" or something. And I think he's like, "I'm just like, here's the referee."
Right.
But his he had he he has so many stories that he heard, and he has a great memory, and I want to get him on film
Absolutely. Maybe even an
because
animated, something to illustrate these stories would be cool.
that'd be fun. And I've thought about a few things like that. So yeah, we could go that way.
Awesome. Well, that sounds great. You have a lot of momentum on lots of these projects. Is there any final thing you'd like to say about the Mimic?
I just think it's a fun piece to watch. I find it really fascinating, the music and everything. It's really organically, to me, it works. Um, Actually, and I should back up. I had two nature film festivals reject, but I just had like a week or two ago Nature Without Borders accepted it. So
Oh, nice.
at least I'm not a total wipeout on that side of the thing.
Right.
And I've been shooting stuff down here during this visit and thinking, okay, well, maybe with some traditional voiceover to explain what we're looking at and stuff like that,
Right.
it might be more of a true nature documentary. And I've been a little flummoxed about what categories to put it in, because it's in a way an original music video.
Right.
It's a documentary. In some respects, some of the antics, I think it's like a little mini comedy.
Yeah.
And so I think for Portland, I put in, like, if y'all think it goes into a different category, stick it in, because I don't know where to classify this one. But
I'd almost even put it as experimental, because the sort of the word and image pairing is part of the interest.
yes, I forgot. Y'all have the experimental
Yeah,
category, and I think I actually put it in my note, to the submission note or something. Hey, it could be a music video, it could be experimental, documentary, comedy. Y'all figure it out, and run with it.
totally.
I just want y'all to take a look at it and see if you want it. But
Well, excellent. I think it's a fun one, and I think when we screen it on July 16th at the Oregon Short Film Festival, people are going to like it. And where it's a festival with many genres. We're going from horror to comedy to this grab all the mimic, which is a little bit of everything. And I think people are going to enjoy it if they give themselves over to it and get entranced by the music and this incredibly beautiful insect and the
mhm,
word pairings. I think it's really going to go over very well.
mhm.
But anyway, thank you, WW. It's been very nice talking to you,
You can call me Wesley.
Wesley.
It's just WW is my
That's your
creative
screen.
tag.
Okay, got it. I kind of like WW, but we'll do Wesley. But
It's there was already a Wesley Webb in IMDb, so I
okay,
just had to have something that was unique. And
totally.
it's I sort of Googled around. I couldn't find a WW Webb in IMDb or in any of the other platforms that I've become a member of. So it's just been a useful thing for screenwriting, my film,
Okay, totally.
and fiction writing, and the other stuff I do. So
It's got a cool role because it could be World Wide Web.
yeah, I'm sort of the original
That's right.
WWW here. I should be getting royalties or
I
something
know.
from.
Where are those checks? Maybe one day.
Yeah, but
Well, thank you so
anyway.
much for talking with me.
I'm glad to be here. Glad to talk. It's really fun. I hope to continue to produce stuff and send it out, and maybe
Absolutely.
we'll have an opportunity for other conversations.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to all these film ideas that you had coming to fruition.
Yeah, the animated is getting closer. I realized I needed to have voiceover to work against,
Okay.
and I just got those tracks laid um, March, I think. And then my niece had a graduation coming up, so it sort of changed my workflow.
Ah, yeah.
But the quickies were a little easier to just sort of assemble them from footage, send them to Joseph for some music, and then I could work on the next thing in the pipeline. Um, and hi, it's fun to be busy this way. It is
Oh,
very
yeah.
fun to be busy
Absolutely.
this way.
Doesn't feel like work.
No, it doesn't. And you hear the adage, find something you enjoy and then figure out how to get paid for it. But I'm working my way toward it. I do a lot of producer assistant type things to try and
Okay.
my pocket with funds for the fun stuff.
Totally. I respect that. All right.
So
Well, and I think I will see you at the festival.
I bought tickets.
Okay. Cool.
I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make it just yet.
Okay. Right on.
My mom's going to turn 84 this weekend,
Oh, wow.
and she's been having some medical stuff,
Okay.
and the rental repair operation has been running a little slow. So I may have to stay down here a little longer than I had planned initially. So
Understandable. Family first.
yes,
But we'll be rooting
definitely.
for you out here in
And I
Portland.
and I need to get mom on camera because she is a hoot, and she doesn't realize she's a hoot. But I mean, she can come up with some really fun stuff.
Awesome. She got
But
some good stories.
She's a retired nurse,
Oh wow, okay.
3 children, 6 grandchildren, but her memory getting a little slippery.
Mm.
At Christmas, we were talking about carnivores and vegetarians or something, or vegetarians, and she thought about it and she said, "I'm a condor avore," and we all looked at her like, "So you eat condors, Mom?"
Uh,
But that was like one of her like original whatever
I love that.
angle up a word to the
Yeah.
amusement of everybody else type thing.
Excellent. You got to get her on camera.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got. Last week I was with her with medical appointments and stuff. So we did three in 3 days
Oh wow.
and stuff. So they get old, and you don't realize how precious and fragile they are, so one day our fate will be the same probably, and
Yes,
hopefully
indeed.
somebody will be there to drive us around and sit with us in the during the appointments.
Yeah. Well, it seems like you're taking good care of her, and that's the best thing that there is to do.
Right.
Being there for her. But anyway,
Okay.
thank you, Wesley, so much. This has been lovely.
Thank
And
you.
I'm going to keep my eye out for Webb on IMDb and around YouTube and social media because I want to see some of these projects.
Well, definitely, hop on my web channel and check out the other critter quickies that I've got.
Okay, definitely will.
All right. Cool.
Awesome. Well, thank you, and I will see you around.
Definitely.
Take care.
Hmm.
Bye.